Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to measure. I know so many times I go on a website and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I wonder if it'll look good on me. Let me check out the size guide so I can see if it'll fit. So I open it up and I just see a bunch of numbers, hip, bust, waist, and I'm like, okay, well, looks good on the girl. These numbers seem a little arbitrary, not exactly sure where to measure. So what I wanted to do today is walk you guys through how to break down those size charts to see if a garment that you're eyeballing will look good on you. So the first thing, and actually I'm going to talk particularly about swimwear. Number one, the awesome thing about swimwear is it's made of stretch fabric. So it is and can be very forgiving. So if you are an inch over, or even sometimes up to 2 inches over what the size guide says, it'll stretch over your body. You probably don't want to go smaller just because you don't want to have extra fabric. That's not a good look, especially when it gets wet, because then it will start sagging and drooping. So my goal today is to just help you guys figure out exactly where the points of measure are so that when you open those size charts, you know where on your body you need to look. So the first one is bust. The bust generally has 2 measurements. The first part, you're going to go over the fullest part of your bust. So depending on the shape of your boobs, it generally is like where your nipple height is, but you can kind of just feel where the fullest part is. And so you're going to take a measuring tape. If you don't have one, you can use a piece of string and then, kind of like grab the end of it where the measurement is complete and lay it down against a ruler. So that's a little hack. So you'll take this measuring tape. You're going to go across your back. I want to start by saying, you guys, I'm a tiny human. I've always been tiny. So if that's what you're thinking as you look, vegetarian diet and good genes and a little exercise. Okay. So fullest part of the bust, it's about 32. It's like 31 3/4. So I'm gonna round up to 32. I'm wearing this swim top. This is the Rapture top. There's no built-in wires or bra, push-up, anything. So this is just like natural bust. So 32. Then, just for good measure, if you want, you can do the under bust. And this is like when you go to get for a bra, they'll always measure these two. So you're gonna go underneath here, you're gonna pinch where you feel the ends, 28 and a half. So you have 28 and a half, 32. For you guys, it'll be different. We're all unique. So let me move this out of the way. Now for the waist, you're gonna go to where your belly button is, and then you're gonna go about an inch up from your belly button, because that tends to be the smallest part on a human, depending on whether or not, various factors, if you had kids, how we're eating. But anyway, the smallest part of the human waist, or the technical location of the human waist, is an inch above the belly button. So I'm gonna go there, and I'm just gonna go across my back. I'm gonna feel for sort of like where that dip in my back is. I have goosebumps, guys. It's really cold. It shouldn't be. It's May. It's New York, but it's cold. 26. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so keep in mind, if you're gonna measure, depending on if you're going to eat at the beach, you may want to just wait till you're like maybe a half hour or so after you've eaten, so you're still a little full, but not like the bloated right after you eat full, maybe an hour. So 26, right? So it's about an inch and a half above my belly button, but it'll naturally fall in like the divot sort of between the lower rib cage and the hip. Okay. So again, above my belly button, 26. Okay. And you can even give a little exhale so that it opens and expands. And then you'll see kind of the true number. But remember, it's stretch, so it will give you it'll give you extra room if you need it to, okay? The next measurement is gonna be your hips. This also can be arbitrary for a lot of women. When you're fitting a woven garment, like a pant or something, you want to, or a skirt, a fitted skirt, you wanna measure your high hip and your low hip. For the purpose of swimwear, it's such a tiny garment, it's not covering much. I tend to just do the low hip, okay? The high hip would be where your hip bone juts out. So my hip bone is here. That's my high hip. It's usually about 4 inches or so below the waist. 4 inches is a good number. So just to show you guys where it is, you're gonna go across your back, your lower back, your butt, high butt, and then you're gonna find those hip bones. You can kind of like tilt your pelvis forward a little so they stick out and you can feel them. All right, and then you're gonna get that number. I'm super narrow, you guys, so it's only 30, but anyway, this gives you an idea of where that high hip is, okay? So you're gonna go across the back, okay, across the hip bones, that's your high hip. By the way, these are the high cut leg bottoms. They're brand new, super sexy 80s, but you have to be pretty comfortable because they do show a lot of booty, you guys. Okay, so now this is the number that I use on my size chart when I refer to the hip, and that's your low hip, and that would be the fullest part of your hip. So basically, like where your butt is the fullest, your hips are the fullest. So you're gonna go around, okay? You're gonna go around. You wanna give it a little room because when you sit, everything expands. So just make sure you're not like pulling super snug tight, but tight enough, okay? So you can see there's not enough space in there for me to really get my finger comfortably, so it should be that tight, okay? So that's how you measure across the fullest part of the hip, which is what most size charts, or what my size chart I should say, refers to as the hip, okay? So you have bust over the fullest part, you have waist across about an inch or inch and a half above your belly button, and then you have the hip, which is the fullest part, in our case, of your bottom, okay? I'm not gonna go over any other measurements in this video because we don't make any full length garments yet, but if there's anything that you guys want to know about, I'm happy to address it in another workshop Wednesday, okay? Thanks for watching, bye.